this model of a head, and I've coloured it just a bit of pinky colour, just to make it look more interesting. And I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to go to UV editing up here, and you should be in edit mode. If you're not, click edit mode, and then go up to this one here, unwrap. Okay, and if I move this across, you won't see anything, but I'm going to highlight it by pressing A. It grabs the whole lot, and you see over on the this side of the screen, I've basically unwrapped the whole of the head. It's like getting a box and opening all up and laying it flat, because I can do lots of things when it's unwrapped. I can paint on it and all kinds of things. Anyway, right, so A grabs everything. I'm going to move this across, and then I'm going to go up here to object mode, and basically what we're going to do is add on the mesh, but on the curve, empty hair. But before I do anything, I'm going to go across here to the render engine, because in curves I'd already been using this, and I need to change this to strand and 0 before I continue. Right, okay, so I'm going to highlight the head again, and again, if I go into standard sculpt mode, you'll see the standard sculpt toolbar. I'm going to highlight the head, and this time I'm going to curve, empty hair. When I'm going to sculpt now, you will see it's changed to the hair. You can add hair, and then this one up here is the count of how many pieces of hair you paint on straight on that face. If I do 50, look, that's tons more. So I'm going to undo that, go back to 5. Over on here is the curve. Now, there's the length and there's the points. How many points are on each strand of hair? So I'm going to show you what happens if I put 50 and I paint on, and I'm going to try to groom it with the groom brush. The trouble is it's got so many edit points, it's all kind of curly, which I'm not happy with. So I'm going to delete this. You can delete this by going to the delete hair tool, zoom out, and the bigger the brush, the more it takes off. So I'm going to create a big brush, enlarge it, and get rid of that. Okay, so I'm going back to the hair. I'm going to change this now to how many shall I go for? 5 points. Click on the length, shape, and point size. And when I do this, make a smaller brush, you can see it scatters all over the place. The smaller the brush, I'm going to change also the length of each strand to 0.02. So when I do that, there you go. I can also go to the delete, and the bigger the brush, the more it takes off. Back to the add hair, and I'm going to just add a bit of smaller brush around here. There we go. Okay, and I can delete loose hairs. Now this one is the density brush, and over here you'll need to change the size. I'll show you what I mean. At the moment it's 0.3 meters. Look at this. Woo! Okay, so what I do is go back here and change this to 0.02 and click on the length, shape and count. And as you can see, the density now. Remember, you're working in 3D, of course, so be careful you don't splatter the hair all over his neck as well. Get rid of that. Okay, so there's the hair sticking out. I'm going to groom it now with a grooming tool. Great word. And big brush, pull this in against this chap's face. Okay, and pull this in a bit. There we go. Bit of grooming. Okay. So I'm just going to pull this into a better shape. And obviously I'm going to also twist it a little bit. Yeah, twist it down. Quite interesting. Okay. I'm going to pull this in closer to the side of his face. Okay, I'm going to go to the density brush now, add a small brush and add a bit in here. There we go. That's okay. Now this is the shorten and lengthen brush. If I click over here, I'm going to subtract, and it'll shorten or lengthen, depends how I use it, the hair. Okay, that'll do for the moment. I think that's okay. Yeah, that'll do. Right, there's other tools, twisty tools. Look, this one. I'm not sure what that's about. Have great fun with this. Going back to grooming, and I'm just going to pull this hair about. And add a bit here on his chin now. Okay, so at the moment, there we go. I'm still using the shape at 0.02, and I'm going to take this. I'm going to add the points to 8 and change this to 0.01. So he's got a scruffy. It's going to be a scruffy, unshaved young man. Oh, and remember you're working 3D again, and so you have to get rid of the loose hairs. I don't want him to become a gorilla yet. Okay, I'm going to go back here and add a few more. There we go. Right, I'll do. And now if you go to the grooming brush, the small brush, the smaller the brush, the less hairs it picks up. So if I use a big brush, you can see the whole thing twists the hairs or grooms the hairs in one big lump. And you notice this is sticking out a bit. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to pull this kind of bone fluff moustache in. Yeah, that'll do for the moment, for this little exercise. Play with this. Right, I'm going to paint now. Okay, so I'm going down here. Where am I going? Oh yeah, I want to have a look at it in the form of colour. So I'm going to have a look at that. Here we go. Right, so I'm going to go into the middle one here. And I'm going to go down here and add some colour to the hair. Or the moustache and bum fluff or beard or whatever you like to call it. So I'm going to choose this. And you can see, whoops, there we go. Okay. And you have to go back here. I'm just going to paint on there. Okay, there we go. Right, okay, there we go. So at the moment it's like a gingery, dark gingery colour. I'm going to change this. You can see as I move around, it gets green, it gets all kinds of different colours. I can change the density of the colour. And I'm just going to move it around there. And there we are. Okay, there we go. And it's got a little bum fluff beard and a bit of moustache.